And welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt Putt Podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Before we get rolling tonight with our guests, we're going to take a quick second and give a shout out to a few sponsors. First, let's take a second and give a shout out to 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy. Make sure you guys stop in there, check them out. Everything you're looking for: flour, pre-roll, edibles, tinctures, vapes, you name it, they got it. When you're in there and looking for some vapes or edibles, make sure you guys check out Jaunty. They got the blueberry lemonade, the mango sunrise, a bunch of different varieties and edibles, as well as the vapes, disposables, constantly coming out with new brands of cartridges, and they also have some of the live rosin with the critical brand. So make sure you guys go stop in 420 Bliss, check them out. If you don't feel like going in, you want a delivery, you go to 420-bliss.com, set up your delivery or pre-order right online. And you can also go on the App Store at Just a Little Higher and make sure you're looking at the 420 location if you're in the 518. If you're in the New York City area, you can just look up Just a Little Higher. They have a few locations down in the Upper West Side. So make sure you guys go and check them out. Just a Little Higher, 420bliss.com. Also, my man Marty, Trouble Off the Tee. Make sure you guys take a second and check out troubleoffthetee.com. Promo code RGB for 15% off site wide. Promo code PUFF, get you buy one, get one free on the polos. He was running a 50% off sale. I'm not sure if that's still going right now, but make sure you guys go check that out. If so, let them know that the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. While you're over there, take a second, check out the Audible book, available on Spotify and Audible. Author's Marty Midian, narrated by Jake Adams from Country Club Adjacent. It's an awesome listen, something you're not going to want to put down. So when you're done listening to the podcast, go download the book. But I'm going to take a quick break here, and then we'll get into it with our guest. And welcome back to oh shit, why is that doing that? Welcome back to the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. Tonight's guest we're having on is my man Scott from, I don't know why this video is playing on, sorry. We got Scott from Shady Chefs. What's up, buddy? Nice to meet you.
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Nice good, how are you?
Glad to be on here.
Good, man, good. Yeah, I came across your page on Instagram, and obviously one of the designs you have stands out to the Pitch Putt and Puff crew, so that caught my eye especially. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into golf? We'll start there, and then we'll roll into the company.
Sure. So I'm a Maryland guy, born and raised. Been living in Florida part time, little snowbird kind of deal for the last. This will be my 10th winter down there. Golf mecca. You know, like I mean, it's just golf everywhere. A lot of good golfers too. You learn that quick when you get down there. You know,
right.
I didn't actually start playing the game until I'm 38 now, so I didn't start playing until I was like 23, 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
I played baseball my whole life, so I knew how to hit the ball. You know, like I knew how to hit it, but I didn't know where it was going. And my best friend growing up, he had been playing since he was like 8. And as soon as I took to it, like, I mean, I got to credit my boy Joeski for getting me to where I could really take off with it with just ability at that point. And, you know, just that whole athletic, I'm not the most athletic person, but you know, that athletic part of my ability to really focus on something. So
especially if you play baseball, it just translates so much to the game of golf.
Yeah. And you know, the funny thing about it was when I first started, just like anybody that I'll say played baseball and then picked up a golf club, everything went right, you know, like to begin with, everything went right. But now, like, I couldn't hit a ball right if my life depended on it. You know,
right.
It's just, your swing changes and you figure it out and you figure everything out. But big up to my boy Joe. You know, he really he gets mad at me because I beat him every time we go out now. Nice. Most of the time, more times than not.
I got a similar situation. My buddy Neil got me into the game about 7 years ago. I'm 41. And it was one of those things like all my friends would always ask me to go play. But I was baseball, basketball, football guy growing up as well. But I was a lefty baseball player. I batted lefty through righty and switched hit very little.
Sure.
So I had no lefty golf clubs. None of my buddies had lefty golf clubs. So I just grabbed, I don't know, my dad had a set of righties laying around. I grabbed it, went out and just started playing. And ever since then, I eventually just turned myself into a right-handed golfer. It's been a process for sure. But my buddy Neil took the time to actually like do it. All right, keep your head down. And I was raising my foot like Kirby Puckett, like
Yep,
all the baseball stuff. It's just naturally baseball. And
absolutely.
I still have the baseball grip. I can't change it. I don't think I will change it. Like it's just not going to happen. But it's definitely something where I had to put the time into it even to get to like I'm probably a mid 80s, 85 to 90 golfer right
Sure,
now.
sure.
Um, but
Which is
it's
better than most golfers.
right, and it took me
You know
six,
what I mean?
7 years to get there, to
Yep.
really get there and put the time in. And I go out and play a lot, but I don't practice a lot, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I just go out and smack the ball around.
I find it crazy where, you know, and it's kind of like weight training. I kind of make the comparison. It's like you build yourself up and like you practice consistently at the game and like at the craft and like you in small increments you get better and you figure it out. But let's say you get sick for a week, like I had COVID, whatever that is now,
Right.
uh, about a month ago, and I had been playing regularly like 2 times a week, and my game was pretty dialed in. There's always room for improvement, but that 10 days of me like not swinging a club, just being at home, like it's like 4 steps back.
Yeah.
And it's like, why does it take so long to figure it out? And then you just lose that muscle memory. So that
Mm-hmm.
muscle memory so fast. It's
Because
crazy.
I didn't lose my baseball swing for not playing for a
Well,
week.
you never lose that. If you played it for 20 years, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like
Basketball, I never lost my jump. I haven't picked up a basketball all year. We had our first. I got a 7-year-old daughter. We had our first practice last week. I picked up the ball, hit my just
yeah,
shot one up and nailed it. It's like, all
right.
right, boom, been doing it for 30 plus years. It's
Yeah.
just something that comes natural, where golf is just not natural to me. And
Well, the
it's a
crazy thing about
struggle.
like going back to baseball, I used to tell my buddy Joe all the time. I'm like, like I played college baseball, so
Mm-hmm.
like I could hit, like I could see 90 coming at me, see a location and hit it where I wanted to pretty regularly, right?
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
not every time. This ball is stationary. Like, why can't I just, you know what I mean? Do what I
Yep.
need to do and hit it straight every time. It drove me crazy, drove me nuts.
Yep.
But that's the beauty of golf, man. It's a game of mistakes, and it's a game of managing the mistakes,
Absolutely.
and minimizing damage.
Yep. Yep. So what took you? How did you get into Shady Shafts? Where did that all
Man,
inspire from?
I got to give props to another buddy of mine down in Florida, Brett Williams. Big up to Brett. So about 3 years ago, I got a group of guys that I play with down in Florida, and I show up, I'm playing with them, and I show up to the golf course, and my buddy Brett, he got a brand new Scotty Cameron, but he came out and the thing was like completely murdered out, blacked out, painted all the way down, shaft, everything, face of the club. I mean, it was black,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm an aesthetic guy, like I like those kinds of things and stuff like that, and I saw it, and I was just like, the fuck did you get that? You know what I mean? Like, can I say that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can swear. Absolutely.
And he was telling me that he sent it up to his buddy up in Jacksonville, who actually paints clubs. And I was like, all right, that's cool. I'm not going to send my putter to Jacksonville and miss out on 2 weeks of golf on the 5.5 months that I get down in Florida.
Right. Yeah.
Your putter. So I started looking around the Gulf Mecca, Jupiter area and stuff like that. Nobody painted clubs. It was crazy. So I walked into, like, do you have Golf Galaxy up there, or like just like a golf shop?
We got Dick Sporting Goods is all we got for golf.
Yeah. So the equivalent of Dick's.
Yep.
I walk in there and I'm asking them, anybody who paints shafts, paints golf clubs and stuff like that. And they're like, nah, nobody does that around here. So I'm on my way out of the store, and a guy goes, well, I've heard of people wrapping their clubs. And I was like, I didn't even turn around. I just got this big grin on my face because I've been playing for a while, and I never heard of that. And I know I'm not the only aesthetic guy in the game. Like,
right.
You customize everything in golf anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately was just like, well, the last thing that there really is to customize the shaft of your golf club. And wraps are a low cost effective way to show your personality and customize what you got and customize your game with minimal, what's the word? Like it's not going to affect your golf club too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I went home and I started like searching for it. I'm like, what's out there? You know, just like any idea. You're like, but is anybody doing this? Anybody doing this? And I found a guy who actually had a patent on it, but the patent ran up. And I was just kind of like, started looking at his website. I ordered one, and he was doing all just like solid colors, basic colors, and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's not what people are, you know, at least me. Like, I want some sort of design on there and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I spent, I mean, shit, I'm on 3 years now, and I'm just getting started, you know, like refining, trying to find the right material to wrap the stuff on and coming up with designs and doing all the other stuff. So that's really how I got into it, you know.
Now, do you do all the designs and stuff yourself?
Do I actually do the artwork, or do I? No, I don't. This is definitely 100% startup. Like, I definitely bought, you know, like designs that I could use for commercial use and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But, you know, the goal is down the line, you know, like I'm trying to get into like college teams, you know, like get into, you know, Fanatics, get into like NFL and baseball, and, you know, like I said, like college teams, and, you know, just plaster logos like all over somebody's shaft, and, you know, just be done with it. You know, SEC, as you know, being a Canes fan, they're not SEC. Are they SEC now? They're not.
No, ACC.
Right?
Yeah.
But, you know, like there's down south schools, like they're diehard down there. All those fans and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, this is a hobby for me. You know, like I love golf. I would much rather sit at the Waste Management and get hammered and sell golf shafts than, you know, do what I'm doing now. You know,
no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, but that's cool though, man. Like with the variety, like you said, though, the game of golf is becoming so customized. Like you see it all the time. People have, like my buddy Mike. He's got his nickname's Fairway Mike. He's got Fairway on his bag. Now, like if I told him, like, now do you? That's the other question I have for you. Do you can you customize it like with people's logos and stuff like that yet, or is it just kind of what you have for options now?
So as far as customizations, logos are definitely on the way. Right now, what you can do is like Fairway Mike.
Yeah.
Like Fairway Mike, like he could 100% go in, pick a wrap that he likes, and then he can customize and get Fairway Mike down the back side of it. You know how like on a shaft, like usually the logo of the shaft is like on the bottom, so you don't really see it.
Yep.
I placed, like right now, like I'll show you right here. So like this is one of the wraps, how it comes, right? If you can see that.
Yep.
So right now you see the Shady Shafts logo right there.
Yep.
So you can take that logo away and put your own wording right there. And then if you follow the instructions on how you put it on, that wording will wrap underneath the club so that it's not an eyesore when you're looking down, staring at the club face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's far enough up where your name's there, and, you know, like you've personalized like your
right.
And you can also, like, if you see this pattern here, what I did was you can pick between colors from the pattern itself.
Okay.
So like, for example, like this is just like I know it's kind of looking blue here, but this is like a green, black, like camo kind of look.
Okay.
It's down to that same color green, like gradient and down. I'll show you another one here real quick.
Sure. See, that's what's good too with the customized thing. With Fairway Mike, he loses his clubs all the time.
Yeah, well, he won't lose this, you know what I mean? But like this one here, it's the blue camo that fades down to the blue. But what you can do is you can actually choose between colors to fade into, or you can do like a two-tone that match that color swatch of whatever design you're looking for, you know. But as far as wording and stuff like that, you can definitely put your wording there and things like that.
Yeah. Now is the application? What's the like do you have to wait to use the clubs or anything like
No,
that?
man, it literally takes 4 minutes to put on. And that was me with my 11-year-old godson. I gave him instructions and said, hey, look, do this. We'll time you. We'll see what's up. Just follow the instructions and we'll see how easy it is, because I had been doing it for 2.5 years. Like I can throw one of these things on in like 30 seconds,
Right.
but I wanted to see what someone's first experience was that doesn't have a lot of world experience for, per se.
Yeah.
And it took him 4 minutes. Very easy to install. It's really just cut and stick and just kind of rub it around, and
No heat guns or anything like that?
zero, no heat
Okay.
guns, no anything. And I use a removable vinyl. So like if you ever wanted to take it off, like if it ever gets nicked or you wanted to replace it, it's not going to leave any residue on the shaft. It's not going to kill your shaft in any way. It's not going to rust your shaft or anything like that. And it takes a little longer to take off just because of the tackiness on it. But
Right.
you're looking at, I don't know, 5 minutes to take off, 4 minutes to put on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was curious because I seen like something before where they were like, I had a heat gun to it and all that. I'm like,
No, 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 no.
that's too much work. I'm
Yeah,
not doing
no,
all
no, no.
that.
Absolutely. I wanted to stay as I saw it too, like the shrink wrap stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, 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 no. And when they did the shrink wrap, I was watching a video on it, and I forget who's selling them, but like you had to be like super careful with it, or you'd get like wrinkles in it.
Bubbles and yep.
Yeah, right, right.
Yep.
This is definitely a novelty in the golf game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not something that's crucial to whatever. It's not going to enhance your game or anything like that. It's really about showing your personality and customizing what you got and saying like, look, like I'm balling out here,
Yeah, put a little swag to it. That's all. That's
Right,
that's
exactly.
even with like the company, the one company Golf Kicks, where you can just pop some. Like I'm a sneakerhead. You
Yeah,
can just pop some spikes into a random pair of Jordans that I've got sitting
absolutely.
around. I haven't used in a few years. All right, I'm gonna turn these into Golf Kicks now. Boom.
Right,
Now
right.
I'm gonna go golfing. It's like cool stuff like that because before, like when I first started golfing, literally just even the attire, like people were wearing like the old school golf shoes that look like bowling shoes and shit. And
Yeah,
that's not my style. Like I don't want to do that. So like I'd rather have a nice pair of Nikes on or like
yeah.
I'm just spiked up and I want to wear a hood. Like it's cold out. I want to wear a hoodie. I remember
Sure.
people weren't wearing hoodies when I first started playing. Now,
It was the 3/4 zip, or like a full blown out like sweater, that that
yeah,
didn't have a collar to it or nothing. You just had to wear it.
nope. I was out there in a Canes hoodie the other day with my vest over it. Freezing my ass off, but we were
Yeah,
still out there. Well, one more round tomorrow for me and the boys to wrap up the year at our park. We always traditionally a few of us close the gates at the park every year. I think the third or fourth year we'll close the gates out there. So
yeah.
it's a pretty good tradition. Hopefully,
Nice.
we just hope the weather to be cooperative.
Cooperative. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, one more thing about like just like the culture of golf. It's 100% changing.
Oh yeah.
From that traditional. I mean, you just see it in golf apparel where you can actually buy. Like I got on a Travis Matthew hoodie right now that shit I wear to dinner, and then I come straight from the golf course like with this hoodie on to dinner, and everybody thinks that like I dressed up for dinner, like, because
Right.
and you see like Nike coming out with like the low G Jordans, and
Yep.
stuff like that. I think that people, at least marketing, the people who are marketing it, know that the game is changing, and there's a lot of younger folks that are really starting to get interested in the game, whether it be on course or like at your drive shack or your Top Golf and things like that, where it's really taken off. The research that I did was saying that even of female golfers, it's up like 25% since COVID. I mean,
Yep.
COVID was a godsend for the golf industry.
It really was.
Godsend. And you see a lot of it's just younger 18 to 34 is just blowing up in the industry. And they all want personalization and customization, and you gotta adapt, and you gotta give them what they want.
Which is good, because golf did need that rejuvenation to it, however the hell you say it.
Well, since Tiger, right? I mean,
yeah,
that was like the spike, and then
that was what, 98. We're going back to the 90s,
right.
pretty much.
Going back to what,
so
95, 96, something like that.
Yeah,
Tiger came. I mean, you got well, it's so fucked up now because of like Live, and I actually like Live.
So do I.
I'm an entrepreneur. Like the PGA had and people might not like this, but PGA had a monopoly for too long.
Yep.
And that they needed that competition, and they got bit. And
they really did. They got bit, and I think a lot of the only downside to Live right now is you can't find it on TV.
Do you have CW up there?
Yeah, we got the CW, but that's a station where people like my father, for example, he's not going to go and look for he couldn't tell you what channel the CW is.
Yeah, it's not on NBC.
He knows his 10 channels that he's going to watch: ESPN, the Golf Channel, and if it's in CBS, ABC, and if it's not on there, he's not going to be able to figure it out.
Well, hopefully with this merger that they got going on and stuff, you'll get starting to see, because even me, like I love golf. I used to sit and watch golf Saturday and Sunday all winter, even if it was just on in the background, just watching it. But ever since, I mean, I'm not lying when every single big name except for Rory, Tiger, JT, and a handful of others jump ship. The quality of golf on the PGA Tour just really sank. Now, I'm a big fan of Xander Schauffele and stuff like that, but it just doesn't fit the bill for all the guys like the Koepkas, the Rahms, and everything like that went over to Live. It's just a different game.
Literally, I mean, majority of my favorite guys to watch went over to Live. The same thing though. I'm a Tommy Fleetwood guy, and obviously you're gonna watch Tiger and Scotty and shit. But when DJ went over and Brooks went over, I was like, damn, these are guys I enjoy watching and competing on, in tournaments that now they're not, not only that we're going to see them less too, you're not going to see them as much either with the amount of tournaments and shit, but you can't blame them. They went and got the bag. You got to go get that bag.
I mean, come on, man. You telling me you throw $300 million in my face right now and I got to make a decision right now? I'm taking the money every single time.
And I can wear shorts, chilling. I'm going. Let's go.
And I got to play 3 rounds, and I only got to hit 10 tournaments a year. I mean, come on.
Yep. And some dope ass places to hit tournaments too.
Yeah, it's an easy decision, and I'm glad that somebody had the balls to stand up to PGA. Not that I don't like PGA. I'm just saying.
Right.
Capitalism. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then up the antes on some of the tournament purses and shit like that too. You got it now. Now they force them to do it. So
exactly.
Otherwise they're all going over there. 100%. And the PGA will be a developmental league.
Yeah. Be the DP tour. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I like just one more point on that, and I don't even know if this is true or not. I read, months ago, when they started talking about the merger, and there were some rumblings on Twitter and stuff about how Rory was all pissed off because they did this merger after he sold his ass to the PGA Tour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he wanted a bonus of 300 million, and if they did something he wanted his own team, and I'm like, but it's not about the money, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's about the tradition. And then one more point about that, not to get too far off topic, but they were, and I don't even know if I'm gonna get kind of political here in a minute.
You're good.
But they were complaining about Saudi money on the whole thing and everything, how that was a bad thing. But if you're going to talk about that, you got to talk about Nike getting their clothes made in China on slave labor. You got to talk about it and all that other stuff. Are they going to give up their sponsorships and stay and die on that hill for that kind of thing? Probably not.
Right. Too much money involved, man.
Right. But that's it for me on that.
Yeah. So, with the company, is it just you who does it? I know you mentioned your wife was involved?
Yeah, so it's me and my wife. I mean, it's 100% small business startup kind of deal. You see right here in the background, I got my big digital printer.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Is that the thing that prints the
Yeah,
bad boys out?
that thing's a monster, dude. I
That
don't
is
know if
sick.
I've ever seen a printer that big.
That's pretty serious.
Didn't know what I was getting into with that, but figured it out. I got a cutter over here on the right-hand side. So the way it works is I kind of get the file set up, like ready to order on the computer here, and then it shoots over to there and it prints in about, I don't know, after it heats up and everything, because the way it works is the ink comes out and there's actually heaters that blow at like 300 degrees on it that actually dry it instantly as it's coming out. And that takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes to run through, get a print through, and then I run it over to the cutter, and that takes about another 10 minutes, and I box it out and get it out, the same day and stuff like that.
That's sick. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
it's an easy game if you have the right equipment,
Yeah, right.
I almost didn't buy the cutter. Thank God the sales guy, talked me out of not doing that, because I mean, it's ridiculous how it knows where to cut it, and I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder, man.
Well, I have a problem with that sometimes, trying to save $1 or $2.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm the same way. So, man, I like to wrap up with 3 questions, all golf related. We'll start off with what's your favorite club in your bag?
Mine right now is my pitching wedge. And the reason that it's my pitching wedge is because I went down to Pinehurst about a month ago. Me and my buddies, there's 8 of us. We all go down and do something different. We do like a 3-day tournament kind of deal. And I actually got my first hole in one with a pitching wedge, 144 par 3 in front of all my boys. And, so they can't say it didn't happen.
Right.
So
that's dope.
That's my favorite club in my bag right now.
That's awesome. That's sick. First hole in one. Congrats. We had one the other day. It's on the Instagram page. My man Kirk. We were playing a 4-man scramble, and he rolled it about 6 inches in front of the pin. Ended up like a foot and a half away. And he just started golfing about 1.5 years ago. So for him to be, he's really getting pretty good, and to get it that close, like from where we were, we thought it was in. We had a camera guy with us that day for the first time. We had a video from behind from the tee shot, and then one guy down on the green. So
you're like, holy shit! I brought a camera out here, and this dude's gonna get it.
He's gonna hit it. That's literally what I'm thinking. I'm standing to the right of him, like, holy shit! I'm like, this is gonna be the day. Today's the day, and I got the cameras all over the place, looking like good out of here.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty cool though.
Nice.
But yeah, we do the similar thing. I mean, we didn't go to Pinehurst by any means, but like the whole pitch putt and putt thing is it's 8 to 12 guys every Sunday. We throw up a couple bucks. Everybody plays their round, and then we do a blind draw. So everybody pulls the card. Whoever's got the aces, that's the team. And it goes down the line. Lowest score wins. And then we throw up a couple extra bucks on like skins for birdies and greenies and shit like that.
Well, you should definitely go to Pinehurst, because you don't have to play like number 5. Like down there, there's what they say. There's 47 courses in a 48-mile radius.
Damn. That's sick.
Yeah, and we played. I mean, you talk about somewhere that I would move in a heartbeat. I mean, it's insane just how nice it is, how clean it is, and everything.
Yeah. And
it's pretty reasonable. Like I said, there was 8 of us, and I went through golf breaks, and I think we all paid like $1,000 a person and stayed like on Pinehurst, like in a Airbnb. And it was $1,000 a person. I mean,
that ain't bad at all.
I think that's reasonable. We played 3
absolutely
off like on phenomenal courses, like better. It's not your local muni. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's definitely an experience,
That's
that you should definitely do.
So that kind of correlates, segues into my next question is, what's your favorite course you ever played?
My favorite course, that's a good question. I'm a big Abacoa guy down where I live in Florida. I just absolutely love that place. I did play over at PGA National, which is where they play the Honda. Really nice, but I don't know. When I think about favorite courses, I think about like the whole experience, not just the course. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
like how's the clubhouse, how's the bar, how's the customer service, you know. And
Exactly.
I mean, you just can't for a semi-private spot down in Florida, you just can't beat Abacoa, especially if you go there enough and you pay the cart guys enough. You know, if you're there regularly, you know.
Yep. They take care of you.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite spot for sure.
Nice. Nice. And then the last one here is round out your dream foursome with 3 people. Who would they be?
Oh, definitely Brooks Koepka is one of them. Tiger got to be in there. And I don't know. It's a toss up between Jack and Arnie, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd have a better time with Arnie than Jack, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Arnie's a guy's guy, you know, like he'd be out there slugging shots with you and doing that. But Brooks is definitely my favorite golfer today, so I'd have to put him in there. Tiger, I mean, if you don't pick Tiger in your foursome, you're not a golfer.
Right. You're crazy.
Yeah. I'd even throw in Sam Snead in there or something like that. You know, like one of those old time guys that just kill you with like actual woods. You know.
Yeah. Brooksy was so I was a big fan of Brooks until I found out where he went to college. And I kind of had to pull back a little bit, started following DJ a little bit more. I was like, damn, Brooks.
What I like about Brooks is he's just a dog. Like he's that shit talker. Like that was
I love that. I love it.
Just just was out there. He wasn't playing with you. If he didn't like it, he didn't like it. I mean, think about him and Bryson. I mean, they're buddies now, but I mean that was a thing, you know. And you didn't see that in the golf world.
No, you didn't see anything like that. No controversy, none of that stuff. You know, if it was all behind the scenes.
I'm here for it, man.
It was all behind the scenes, man. Well, Scott, man, I really appreciate your time. Why don't you let the listeners know where they can find you?
Yeah, man. ShadyShafts.com. And I got a promo code that I was telling RGB about. Puff20. It gets you 20% off your total order. And we also got a BOGO on top of that. Hit 50% off and everything. So
awesome, man.
You know what I mean? We'll help you out.
Awesome.
You mind can I ask you a couple questions before I jump off of here? Like,
yeah, man, what you got?
You got like, I'm curious to know like what your thoughts are of just the product itself, like what you would like to see as far as like a design. I know you like the weed one, but you know, I'm just always interested in hearing feedback about what you see and what you guys are digging, you know, so I can kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the cannabis one probably, I mean, that one probably popped in my algorithm, to be honest with you, just because of all the stuff that's in my algorithm and whatnot. That's probably the one that popped in my page at first. And then when I seen it, I was like, I wanted to see if it was, I didn't know if it was the same page I seen, I don't know how long ago with the heat gun. So I was like, what is this? And then I got looking into it. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this just looks like it wraps right on there. You don't have to get all, turn into a surgeon with it and shit. I didn't want to have to start doing all that. So then I started looking at some of your other designs, and like design wise, man, it's so crazy. That's why I asked you about the customization, because if you can kind of bring it to where doing what people want kind of thing, then it's just going to be, you're going to have more variety of shit like that. But just on the standard side, like I think you did pretty good with what you came up with, just the smoke ones and some of the other patterns that you had up there. But like the camouflage one that you showed us a little while ago with the different variations of the camo. So, I mean, those are pretty dope. I don't really, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of any necessarily patterns, but like you also see a lot of, even for the chicks, maybe if you started doing like, I don't know, some of the designer logo, you'd obviously get in trouble in the patent shit. Then you got to worry about all that. Yeah.
So, I ain't cheap, you know what I mean? To license and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I know using the smiley face logos, like to use that patent, something like crazy thing because one family owns it or some shit. Sick.
Well, that's cool, man. It's definitely a work in progress kind of thing. definitely I wanted to get feelers out there. And the crazy thing is that you saw it, but we haven't even really started marketing it. Like,
Oh, really?
I mean, we're just putting up like kind of posts right now. What ended up happening was we were designing the website and getting our designs together once we figured out how we were going to do it. And we just ran out of time and fall came. And we were like, well, we're not going to pump a bunch of marketing dollars into this when 3/4 of the country isn't even golfing.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
What's the point in that? So you'll probably see a lot of Shady Shafts come March, April, like in your
Right.
feed and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
that puff 20 whenever you're ready. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's it. Yeah, man. I definitely, I'm actually going down to, I'll be in the Orlando area
Okay.
in January. Going down to, I can't be too loud, but going down to see Mickey Mouse down there.
Gotcha. You trying to sneak away? Is that what
I'm trying to sneak away for a round if possible, you know? So see what happens. We'll see what
I'll
happens.
come up. I'm only about an hour and a half from there. Holla at me.
All right, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that.
that'd be sick. Because I got a couple other guys that I know from doing the podcast down there and shit that I'd like to link up to. So maybe get a nice little foursome out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play a little golf, man. Be dope. For sure. But yeah, any way I can help you guys, get the advertising out. I'll probably post this. It'll be on Wednesday, so this will be a Wednesday episode. And any way I can help get the advertisement for you, help you with marketing things, let me know, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you got new things coming out, you want to hop on and promote, just hit me up. We'll get it done for you.
Absolutely. Jump on the. I'll get you your own code. So
Okay.
If you want to get some of those smoke ones, I know I got 2 patterns on there. There's one that actually has green in it, and then the all black and white one. If you want to hook your set up or whatever, just I'll get you a code and I'll hook you up for free.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Everybody tuning in, and make sure you guys go check out Shady Shafts. We'll see you on Friday with a preview episode of the Pitch Putt and Puff weekend. Later.